Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have a Zippo spare fuel canister. You can get these on Amazon for about $10. I'm going to go ahead and take this part off though, because this part does not come with it. This is something that I have attached since I began using it. I keep this attached to the bag that I carry with me everywhere I go. I do not call that bag a purse, but it contains everything that I'm going to need for just about anywhere I'm going to go. It is a military bag, which makes it handy for any type of attachments, or maybe I should say various types of attachments. So if you carry something like that, if you don't, maybe you've got a place that you can hang it in your car, under your desk, maybe hang it from your belt loop. This is a Zippo accessory that every Zippo enthusiast who uses their lighters absolutely needs. You can see it has a big wide hook, which makes it suitable to attaching to many different kinds of loops, carabiners, or keychains. Now, once we detach it from this keychain, then we will take a look at this little plastic tube that is hanging off the chain on this hook. That little tube will cradle a flint for your Zippo lighter, Imco, Ronson, whatever kind of petrol lighter you use. If it is flint sparked, then it will likely fit in there so that you have a spare flint at the ready whenever you need one. I've been carrying this one around for about the last 4 years, well, about 4.5 years now, and I've never lost a flint out of one. I don't recall that. It's a while since I've seen one of those red ones, so I'm not sure how long ago it's been since I put a flint in there. So I obviously haven't pulled one out of there in a while. Now we'll take a look at how well this whole mechanism seals off. It really is well machined, well thought out. As I said, I've been carrying it for 4.5 years with fluid in it. It doesn't appear to have any kind of evaporation, any kind of leakage. You can see you can turn it upside down, sideways, shake it around, whatever you want to do. As long as you have it tightened, then it's not going to leak. You have a cap over your spout, and you'll see once we get it off here that it is sealed off by a rubber grommet or rubber seal or gasket. I'm not sure exactly what you would call it. Grommet is probably the wrong word. But that rubber seals off the entire spout and the vent, not allowing any fuel to get out of there. Although you can see it did cause the seal or gasket to look wet, to get wet, and that's fine as long as it's doing its job. But you want to tighten that down really well, and I'm really careful, I'm really deliberate when I'm dealing with this. Now we are moving the entire upper cap, as you are going to have to do when you add fuel to it. And you can see, I don't remember the last time I filled that up, but it was full. No evaporation there. And another thick rubber seal down in this part of it. You can see again it is wet, but it is doing its job. Doesn't allow any of that fluid to evaporate or to leak out. So you've got a good amount of thread on both of these joints with the rubber seal, and there's just no way for that fluid to get out. It is machined really well, I believe out of aluminum. You could probably dent it, you can definitely scratch it. The Zippo logo wore off of it long ago, But you can see there, just from using it, having it open, having all those joints open, and then tightening them right back down, and there's absolutely no leakage, no fuel falling out, anything like that. It tightens down real tight, as it was intended to. I'm looking my hands over just to show you, no fuel, just dry skin. I have a buddy who watches sometimes, who I have known since I was 11 years old. He gives me a hard time sometimes about things like dry skin, because he says I'm basically a hand model these days. But anyway, we get this tightened back down. One thing about that Zippo logo wearing off of there, I think that would bother me if I was an absolute Zippo guy like some of you are. But if you're the kind of Zippo guy who just buys things to put them in a collection and display them, then you could obviously handle it as such. Maybe you don't even remove it from the blister pack that it comes in. But just to make you aware, if you purchase one of these, that Zippo logo that runs along that band on the lower portion of the upper part of that lid, that Zippo logo is long gone, but that doesn't affect the functionality of the product at all. The big loop will still attach to your belt loop or wherever you need it to hang from. You could even attach that to just the loop of your Levi's that your belt is supposed to go through. You wouldn't necessarily need a key ring. Now, if you're one of those fellas that carries around a bunch of keys on a retractable spool, this might be right up your alley. Some people like to carry the wallet on a chain. You could attach this right there with it. Everybody would hear you coming. However you carry it, however you attach it to whatever you were carrying it on, it will be a useful item, another useful mechanism that you can employ. You don't ever want to run out of fuel when you're using a petrol lighter. People are already scoffing at you because they can't believe you're using that old lighter. They don't think it's right. They don't believe your argument in using responsible kind of products rather than just always buying the cheap plastic disposable piece of crap. So don't give them any reason to scoff at you. If you spin the wheel on that Zippo and it doesn't light, well, you always got this fuel hanging around in the background just ready for you to employ it and put it to use. Until next time.